Hey folks, Fromark here with part 3 of the Rayman Let's Play, and let's keep things rolling to Bandland. Bongo Hills. And I gotta say, this is where a lot of my playthroughs usually stopped as a kid. Not this particular level, but the one after Bongo Hills, Allegro Presto, but we'll get there. Bandland is a fantastic world, though. Everything is music themed, and I like music levels in video games. Not quite as much as I like snow levels, but I do like when music is used as like a background and set piece and design for each stage. Kind of like Music Plant in Sonic Advance 2, or Planet Sonata in Rystar. And I'm sure there's plenty of other examples. But yeah, Bandland's a fantastic place. It's where the difficulty starts to amp up for sure. Oh, and going back into a reference to part 2, I looked those things up. Those O things that you swing off of, they're called flying rings, not lums. So I guess lums wouldn't be until Rayman 2. At first I thought the lums were the swingy things, but nope. Now I go back over here. Ride the cloud for a minute, and now I can go get that Electoon cage. And of course, this theme, the song that's playing now, I associate more with Allegro Presto. But then it goes back into Bongo Hills. But, like I said before, all the music here is fantastic, and just overall a fantastic experience this Rayman one is. 10 out of 10 game in my book, even with the absurd difficulty. And, yeah, just go check it out. It's good stuff. It's real good stuff. But yeah, I remember when I played the PC version of this game back in the day that I'd never made it this far because I couldn't get the controls of the keyboard down quite like I could the PS1 controller. But yeah, most of my playthroughs would usually stop at the Allegro Presto place. See what's going on down here. Yeah, more of those enemies. I don't know what those are called. I feel like I should know what some of these enemies are called, but I just don't. But yeah, in my book, this is a visually stunning game. Even on modern hardware, it still looks pretty good. This game holds up pretty well in my book. Jump on the drum. And yes, I do believe I will nab that extra life for sure. I'm gonna need it. Yeah. Yeah. And I'll just keep rolling right along here. Oh, this is a good song. I just really like the percussion here. It's like layers of percussion. Good stuff. I think I could talk more about the soundtrack than I could the game sometimes. But yeah, this one's just more of the same riding clouds, and then you got those maraca things that just move around a little bit. You want to look out for those hooks because they're like spikes. Well, actually, they're supposed to be like music notes. Well, they're music notes, but they're supposed to be like spikes, and they're really pointy and sharp, and you should avoid them. Luckily, they only show up in this Bandland. There's a lot of level tropes have their own unique bosses, music, levels, enemies, projectiles, etc., etc. Sometimes you want to listen close enough when you're playing this game because you'll hear like a little sound effect in the background when you get to a certain point, and you want to look around after that because stuff will appear, like that cloud that I just took to get to this next Electoon cage. Now see what's shaking back over here. Do. top-notch. Top-notch music, top-notch gameplay, top-notch visuals. Not my gameplay. My gameplay is... It's a Fromark production of Rayman here. If you will. Yeah, anyway. And yeah, this level. The one where the maraca things turn into like little rocket ship things that you ride up to the top. But of course it's good to explore this level because of, well, as is the case with any of the levels in Rayman, you want to explore the environments, make sure you didn't miss anything along the way. And definitely get my picture taken. Not quite to Picture City yet, which is the name of a world later on in the game. Let's see what's going on over here. Of course, I need to go further up, but not until I get something. Which is another Electoon cage. Of course, they cheer. They cheer me on as I get that cage. Let them all free. It kind of reminds me of Mario in a way, how everything has eyes. The hills have eyes. Except here it's the walls that have eyes, and they're shooting lightning bolts at me. You again. I don't like those bugs. They were a huge part of why I never got very far as a kid. I don't believe there's anything hidden up top of any of these platforms, but I thought I'd help myself to some of these tings while I'm at it. They're not rings, they're tings. Now I will ride this platform back upstairs. See what I can do. Which I do believe this takes me right to the end. If no, misjudged that by a little bit, didn't I? Oh, this is an annoying section. Sometimes it's just really hard to hit those enemies. You gotta look out for them sometimes. To keep things rolling right along. Shouldn't have any problems here. Just bonk and bonk and bonk. I don't need that. I'm not gonna get it then. Wait, yeah, I am. Of course, I look out the corner of my eye for a second and take my eye off the screen. I went back to get the P, even though I didn't need the P. Which there's those miniature ones that give you like they'll give you like 1 or 2 little bars of health back, or P, which I assume means power. Yeah. Ooh. If I can not get zapped by a bunch of stuff. I'm noticing there's a little bit of trouble in the background with the audio syncing up again, as for some reason my capture card software was just not wanting to cooperate too well with me. And I mean, it recorded the audio and video, but it for some reason split those two things up, and it only does that with the PS3. So it's kind of an odd thing, but I think it has something to do with where I have that bypass thing plugged into the PS3 and then have the capture card running through it. Because you can't just plug a capture card directly into a PS3. You got to get this like bypass thing, because there's like some kind of lockout thing that Sony built into PS3s to keep you from being able to capture footage off of them. They were very strict about that stuff at the time. Little did they know that when the PS3 came out, shortly after would be the era of YouTube and Let's Plays and stuff like this being commonplace. Definitely want to look out for those, because if they get a jump like that, they will fly my way and try to bite me. Let's see what's going on up here first. Another one of those. But this wasn't for nothing because there's an extra life, and I would definitely take any extra life that it's definitely a nice bonus to have plenty of. Yeah. And yeah, just keep things moving right along here in Bongo Hills. Yeah, it's this level. This, in my opinion, is the worst level out of the Bongo Hills set, and that's... Which we're getting close to the end of Bongo Hills, but... It's this one in particular because there's a couple of instances like where I get knocked off this platform, and those spikes, or those music notes get me every time if I'm not careful. Which, in fact, there is a jump cut coming up when I get this Lectune cage either before or after. I know in this level I did die. I do remember that. Of course, I've been sitting on this playthrough footage for a couple of months, just letting the YouTube backlog catch up as I have a bunch of stuff recorded and a bunch of other Let's Plays in the pipeline before I got to this. I try to keep things somewhat planned and scheduled over here and behind the scenes. For the longest time, I wasn't quite sure how I was going to be able to ever get this Selectoon cage because it's just really tricky nonsense. But you want to be tiny, Rayman. You want to let those sparkly whatevers shrink you down to where you're the size of a continue icon. Although there's no continues in this game. Well, there are continues, but you can't obtain continues whenever you want. Aw, yeah. But yeah, you get 5 continues, I believe, which it's pretty easy to burn through all of them if you're not careful. And yeah, there's that jump cut. That jump cut. Just gonna jump right along here. Which most likely what happened. I'm pretty sure what happened was this stupid blue thing knocked me into the spikes. Well, you got those blue spikes there, but the music note spikes. And since I got the Electoon cage, my work here is done. However, later on I will have to backtrack to Bongo Hills to get another Electoon cage that I missed in the previous section, as I don't have the power-up I need just yet to get it. But that's getting a little bit ahead of things, if I do say so myself, so I'm gonna just keep rolling up along in this platform, and yeah, there's the end, but there is something down here. I believe it is another Electoon cage. But yes, I'm going out of my way to make sure this is a 100% completed playthrough of Rayman 1. So I'm getting all the Electoon cages and going back and doing a lot of backtracking, but I'm able to condense it down into a Let's Play for y'all to watch here on the Fromark channel. Yeah! You gotta get a good yeah in. You worry about your yes, I'll worry about mine. Ooh, I like the music here. I don't like whatever that's supposed to be, though. It looks angry. But I like all the drum solo in the song in the background. Good stuff. Very good stuff, if I do say so myself. And I would just wait a second. No need to rush around in this level. Ooh, but I will... Ow! Get out of here. I'm goofing around trying to get this extra life, and I'm gonna end up costing myself another life in the process, apparently. Maybe. Maybe not. There we go. Keeping things rolling. Rolling. rolling like this sick drum solo in the background. Gotta look out for that angry dude again. Now I could shrink down, but there's not really anything down there. But I guess no? Nah. But I'm gonna go over here and get all these tings. Tings. Of course, that angry guy can't get... Well, uh-oh. I was about to say he can't get me from there, but I got stuck in the angry guy's room there. There's another one. But no need to worry. That looks like it's gonna do it for Bongo Hills, for now at least, folks. I'm gonna have to come back here, of course. But since it's been a little while since a save point was accessible on the map, there's a new one here, so gonna save the game. I'm gonna call it quits for part 3, folks, and I will see you in part 4. Yeah.